Yes.
I did a recorded podcast on Saturdays, and recording the podcast today was like the first time we did it on Twitch. And I was like all inside of my head about posture and everything. And there like 20 people showed up to watch us record the podcast. And I was trying to be professional, and I was like, wait a second. I do this dumb podcast for fun. It's not dumb, it's a great podcast, it's fun. But I was like, I do this for MMO I play, Tim, Creature Collection.
Oh, okay.
MMO. But I was like, I do this for fun. Why am I like stressing or doing this? And I made an Ahigaho face stream. And I was just like, when you sign up for Brandon, this is what you get. You get the dumb. But
wow. You got your platforms mixed up there, my dude. This is Twitch, not TikTok.
Fair. But yeah. Anyways, going into tonight, this is probably like one of the least prepared I've been for a session, and it's a feeling that I hate, and it's a feeling that I said when we started these campaigns. Why I'm doing 3 groups is because I never want to feel like this in the future. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do 4 groups. I'm going to do 3, and I'm going to have infinite amounts of time to do all of the things I need. But we'll see.
And then Willow comes and
it's not on her at all. Poor time management and then indecisiveness on me on what I want your guys' story to be. Like, you guys posted some stuff in your channel of like what you wanted to do. I'm horrific at travel sessions. You know, I can throw you guys in a dungeon. I can throw you guys, in a political thriller plot, into a city. I can throw you into a boss fight and a monster thing. But just going place to place, I think those are the hardest ones for me to like roll up and make interesting.
The only thing I could think of Anaziah doing was, Anaziah's gonna, as you're walking, just look around, look for herbs. That's like, that doesn't need to be said.
Neither did Nyoka trying to find a straight stick. But
that needed to be said because that was funny.
All right, so we are live officially. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. You are watching the Scholars Saga 1, episode 11 of their campaign. If you are tuning in tonight and you're under the age of 14, gonna just put it right out there now. Please consult your parents before continuing to watch, because you're going to view material that is inappropriate for you. For everybody else continuing to watch, we are playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. It is a role-playing game, and everything you are going to see tonight is live storytelling, and it is unscripted. There are rules that govern how we take actions inside of the world, but other than that, the entire game takes place inside of our imagination. And the limits of our imaginations are the limits of what the system is capable of. Moving from there, we're playing in a homebrewed setting. It is the world of Ilderon. If you want to read more about it, you can Google search Ilderon Tales. Yeah, Google search Ilderon Tales. That should come up. Or you can go to www.ilderontales.com. It should be spelled exactly how it is in the title of this video. You can copy and paste, and that is all of the good. Is there anything else I need to go over?
We curse a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, especially tonight, dealing with pirates, criminals, and the who knows. But
should have blamed it on the pirate. There's your targets.
If everything goes according to my plans tonight, which seldom won't, or rather seldom ever happens, you guys, this should be the first session that you guys leave the clutch and you actually go into a different part of the world. So we will see if that happens. Although you'll be right back on your way to the clutch. So jumping in from all of that information... Oh, I got a message. Jumping in from all of that information, we will go through our recap. So last session started on the 26th of Noble. The party was on the island of Coven. They had just taken Dean Doolin to her cell, locked her up for the night, got into a spit with Lazzy, getting angry with the party, betting on Azure dying from drinking blighted water, Azure not dying from drinking blighted water, Lazzy attacking Lex for interfering in the bet, and after ultimately losing the bet, Kaya stepping in and telling Lazzy, asserting dominance and telling Lazzy that he needs to fall in line. The party got into a physical altercation with Lazzy, magically trying to intimidate him, but Lazzy, being smart enough to see through magic, knew that the illusion of the big giant in front of him was not a real big giant, and Lazzy attacked it, and after a almost bloody incident, I forgot who stepped in and calmed Lazzy, but lots of people tried, and eventually Lazzy was led out of the room and given a new task to help out Anaralis and go hunting. Oh, nope, I'm getting my sessions confused. That was the... No, I'm not. So yeah, he was given the task to help Anaralis and go out hunting on the river, and Lazzy left and went hunting on the river. There we go. That is handled. From there, I think the party went in and started talking about trying to find a new advisor. They spoke with Andis very briefly. I have the recap up and I'm scrolling through it, but I did not read through it immediately before the session, so I'm going off of most of my memory. While talking with Andis, I believe he was in council with Senator Theolite, and the party went to Andis to get their next mission and find out who their next advisor was going to be. Andis informed them that they had the choice of going. They brought new information to Andis. Andis informed them they had the choice of going to Lothrone and investigating what the Shield Hand was doing there, or to begin the plan that Andis had told them immediately, that they are capable, but they are also expendable, and he wants agents inside of the city of Kraylor's Fists, and he had a plan to smuggle them into Kraylor's Fists. After debating it a little bit, the party decided that they will eventually go to the city of Kraylor's Fist, but first they needed to go to Lothrone and see what was happening there. They asked Andis for a different advisor, and Andis said he would I'm pretty sure he said that he was going to consider getting you guys one, and then he also paid you guys for the opals that you got. If there's important information that came from that role play, you guys can throw it in at the end of the recap. During that time, Senator Theolite pulled Lex aside. Senator Theolite is very astute at collecting information, and a bit of information that came past her is that in this very port, there is a high elf that is marrying themselves to lessers, which is like a big taboo in their culture, and seldom ever happens. And if there was any weight to this, Senator Theolite was suspicious of who this high elf was and what they were doing and what their motivations were, and asked Lex that if they choose to join the marriage circle, that they keep their eyes open and report any suspicious activity back to Senator Theolite. From there, the party Wilbur solved his initiation test and I believe you got the tattoo of the silver sigil, as you were officially now a member. There was some research done on whether or not Anaziah could restore the souls of Terai, and he was pointed to people he could talk to about that. And then finally, we skipped some time. Kayeth and Anaziah created potions in their room. Lex was sitting in the room, and Azure was performing. While all of this was happening, the merchant that the group had met back in Beechwood Retreat had finally made their way to the Isle of Coven and had been asking around at the docks and found their way to the party. Kun asked to meet with Lex. They talked briefly about Kun's proposal, to which I think Lex was considering, but ultimately didn't give a answer. And the party then scrambled to buy some time, and I'm pretty sure you guys just pushed Kun off, as Kun did let it know that they knew who Anarelus was, and that Kun was to report directly to Anarelus. The party is aware that Anarelus sent people to the docks to intercept Kun, as Kun has 2 new traveling companions that were with her. Kun and her traveling companions all left, and Lazzy entered, and he gave Lex the fish, which was Lex's part of the winnings of their bet. And that is where we ended. So, can anybody say anything?
Yep.
My headset keeps randomly turning off, and this is hyper annoying. Let me turn up the sound of this music, and that will keep it on longer. Okay, so it is still the 26th of Scholar. We'll move into the evening. It is just before sunset. The party is in the boarding house inside of the island of Coven. You are in the, I believe it is called the Tired Priest. And I think we can pick up right where we left off. Oh my goodness gracious. Stop doing everything you're doing. Thing. And there we go. Alright.
Brandon, can I get a date check? What was the first day we started?
We started on the 21st of Noble. It is now the 26th of Noble. It's been a little over a half a week. Weeks in Ilderon are 10 days long, because they take forever. The bad guys in the world don't play around, and that's one of the reasons we go through time so slowly, is because a lot can happen in 10 days. A whole heck of a lot can happen. Especially when you can teleport and move places and do all those other shenanigans. Okay, so it is the 26th of Noble. You guys are in the Tired Priest, and you are still on the island of Coven. You sent me some things that people wanted to do. There was a list of those. I can go through and refresh you guys on like things you sent me. If we wanted, you guys could tackle that before you leave to go check on your next mission. Otherwise, you guys can tell me what you want to do, and once I have an action from everybody, I will move us forward.
Is it early evening or late evening?
Early evening, as in it would be like, hey, almost same time as it is now, about 5:30.
Cool. Kaif wants to go visit Scalen Kalinar then and try and hire him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with him.
All right. Lex, are you? You know, what? Alexa, you can just shut up for the night. I had to turn off my Alexa. Lex, you just had a chance to talk with Kun about all of the things going on here. Is there anything? Is there anything Lex wants to do with that information?
They're probably gonna tell it to the group after having like a minute of a breakdown because that's a stalker.
Okay. And Wilbert and Azure. Oh, and Isaiah.
And Isaiah is probably just gonna go. At this point, would be sitting there looking to go to sleep, probably.
Okay. Cool.
Because I don't think there's enough time to work on another potion.
Cool beans.
Azur will continue playing some music in the common room downstairs.
Okay.
See if you can get some good, bring in some dough or something.
When are we supposed to leave?
Whenever you guys get your information from your next advisor. If you guys get another advisor.
Wilbur's probably just going to stay in the common room drawing something up.
Okay. Alright, and you guys are... Okay, I'm going to handle the group going to Scalen Kalinar, and then we can probably time skip a little bit.
Do we have any idea where he is?
Yes, you do. I'm looking at my notes for a quick second. It's been a while since Scalen Kalinar was on screen, and I had to refresh myself with stuff about him. Alright, so the party is going to go out into the city of Coven. You ask Anaralis to set Scalen Kalinar up with a job inside of... You ask Anaralis to set him up with a job inside of the city, and I am going to see. Alright. Looking for Scalen Kalinar, you're going to be able to find him. He has actually taken up a job in his old hobby, or rather not his old hobby, his old profession. He is working at the docks. He is essentially the rank of an intern. He is not a harbor master here. But going and looking for him and asking around, you're eventually pointed to a halfling. He is... Let's see, is he busy right now when you guys come and see him? Scalen Kalinar is going to be looking at the ocean. He is sitting on a box, and he has got a cooked fish on his lap on a piece of fabric. He's pulling off pieces and eating it. As you guys all come over, Scalen Kalinar's disposition towards you. He is normally very, very happy and cheerful. But his expression's going to thin a little bit as you guys come near. He begins folding up the cloth on his lap, covering his fish, and he's going to jump off of the box that he is sitting on. As Nyoka and Kayeth get closer, he's going to say, "I'm getting back to work. I'm getting back to work."
No. Just, do you have a moment for a few words, Skelly Kalinar?
He's going to nod and say, "I was just thinking about how back in Kaitelis, my wife would normally cook me dinner."
Yes, it must be a change of lifestyle in your new role here.
He's going to nod and say, "Well, your advisor told me he sent money and people to retrieve her, but it could be weeks, or it could be a whole week on a boat before she gets here."
Well, a week isn't that long.
He's gonna scoff and say, "In the clutch, a lot can happen in a week. Kaitelis could be burned to the ground before his escorts even get there."
How are you finding your new work in the harbour?
He shrugs and says, "Working my way up. They use a system here for organizing and arranging the comings and goings of their ships and the cargo on them that I'm not familiar with, but I will be. I promise you I'll be useful and you will not have to wipe my mind."
Yes, you don't need to worry about that. I'm feeling terrible about how, we pulled you from your home and brought you over here, and I'd like to help you get a more leg up in the world. As it happens, I have a new job opening for you. If you're interested, it would involve a little bit more pay, a little bit more responsibility, but I'm sure you're capable of it.
He's going to think for a moment, and he's going to hold his fish underneath his arm, almost as if it was like a ledger or a like a business book, and he's going to say, "All right, I'm listening."
So I've establishing a new trading house, and our first materials we'll be trading are healing potions, and I'm looking for someone to run the operations in Coven for me. It would involve recruiting and managing some talent, managing the ledgers, and seeing to the distribution of the healing potions. So we're making the world a better place and getting people the healing they need. And I was asking myself, who is the person who could have the wit and the skill and the determination to lead the operation here when I'm off on other missions? And I thought of you.
He's going to put a hand on his chest and say, You thought of me?
Yes, I was always struck that the harbour in Kaitelis was run smoothly, and you seem like a very capable fellow.
Nyoka speaks up and says, "We don't know a lot of people."
He's going to nod and say, "All right, I can oversee something like this. What are we talking about in terms of pay? When are operations starting? What type of stock and cargo do we have to begin?"
Out of character, how much would he be getting paid at the moment?
Let's see. Is this a good job or is this a bad job?
It's Aurelius. Assume bad.
He has got a pretty seat in life. He's going to be getting paid. Well, that's not information you're going to be aware of as a character or as a player. But I will say, just Kayeth looking at him now, like, and what he's doing and where he's leading, he is well above any dockhand here. He's got a very comfortable life. Like, there are far worse things he could be doing here. I will allow Kayeth a free intelligence check, and if you beat the DC, I'll tell you the exact amount. But yeah, otherwise, he's pretty comfortable. Yeah, so Kayeth is going to be aware, whereas most skilled laborers get paid a gold a day. Scalen Kelinar actually is getting paid 18 gold a day.
Oof. Nah, can't do it.
Or, I'm sorry, skilled laborers get paid 2 gold a day. Scalen Kelinar is getting paid 18 gold a day. He has access he has access to information that is very valuable to some pirates in the region. So the people who do these types of jobs would need to be well compensated for the risk they take.
And so if Kayeth, did Kayeth figures this out now?
Yes. Of just like
Right.
dock marker, a harbor master would be making a good portion of like everything coming in and out of that port. You know, he isn't a harbor master here, but he's, you know, handling all of their ledgers and seeing where everything's going. He's probably getting paid a pretty good penny so he doesn't squeal that information.
Cool. Kayeth will be then like, so it's a new operation, so we've got some, you know, cash and stocks to get us going. You would be managing some 300 gold to get us going, and I've got components worth about another 150 gold for creating healing potions. And I can offer you 5 gold and 10% of the 5 golds per day and 10% of the profits. Which is someone with your skill running things, I'm sure will be quite substantial.
He's going to nod and say, 5 gold and 15%, and I work as a consultant until operations are fully up.
What do you mean by consultant?
He's going to shrug and say, well, I assumed you'd need a charter. You need to let some of the other mercantile forces and our factions in the region know what you're doing. I wouldn't want to be a part of any of that until it's established that you're not going to get yourself killed. Till then, I can do the labor, but I don't want to be associated with upstarts until you have some. He's
Nyoka's
gonna
speak
swing his
up.
fish and say, "Wait behind you."
Nyoka's going to speak up and say he wants it to be a side hustle, boss, until you're up and established.
Well, perhaps then I'll do the work to get it established, and I'll talk to you once we're up and running. I'll give you 5 gold a day to get it up and running while we're on our next mission. And after that, we can talk about the operations role.
He is going to nod and say, all right, and I'm recruiting people to captain a vessel or guard stock. It's recruiting people to create healing potions, and then we will look at evaluate our options for guarding stock and whatnot. He's going to nod and say, all right, I'll ask the current harbor master. Well, you know, I'll take care of it. He's going to extend a handout.
Kayeth will look at the hand and then shake it awkwardly, and then pull out some paper and start writing a contract.
As he's waiting for Kayeth to finish the contract, Scalen Kelenar is going to hold up his rat fish to Nyoka and say, "Would you like a bite?"
Nyoka is going to say sure. He's going to take a little piece and eat it.
All right. It's not. Well, actually, it's very well cooked. It's very well cooked, and he's going to say, "It's my wife's recipe with the seasonings." Whenever Kai finishes the contract, he'll sign it. He'll read it over, and then he'll sign it. And
Does it smell
So
good?
I'd like to.
it does.
Nyoka's
I'd
going
like to bring your.
and put it in his pouch.
Go ahead, JV.
So I'd like to bring your attentions to the magical interrogation clause that you consent to magical inquiries into your veracity and truthfulness in this role. And also, please, here, can you put a drop of blood and a lock of your hair? You only need that on the version for me. Your version, you won't need the blood or the hair. Just in case for, magical tracing in case you disappear. This is for your security as well as ours.
Okay. He's going to tug at a strand of his hair and put it onto the paper, and then he's going to look at his hand. He closes his eyes and extends out his hand forward and says, "You mages are such a strange lot."
Nyoka pulls out his dagger and hands it to Kyra.
Kyath will hand the dagger to Scalen Kelenar.
Feeling the dagger in his hand, he's gonna open his eyes and is like, "Oh no, I am way too squeamish for this." Very timidly, he's going to poke the dagger to his finger, and he's going to... he pulls it back. He's gonna try again.
Kyath will look to Nyoka.
He's...
You can do it.
Nyoka just takes it and just pokes him.
The dagger gets a few drops of his blood on it, and he's going to instantly retract his finger and put it in his mouth.
So,
go ahead.
Would you please include the same clauses and the same precautionary measures in any contracts that you sign with any staff you engage? I would like one contract to be kept with you, and then a duplicate which I will pick up when we next meet.
He's gonna nod, and he's gonna say, "I wouldn't betray you or sell you out to anybody. And it's one of the reasons why you hire somebody like me. I never even betrayed the shield hand until you guys kidnapped me."
Yes, and this keeps us all safe, but it's also so that we can find you in case you're kidnapped again, and come to your aid. But this is I'm sure there'll be no danger in this role. It's very safe. This is just a precautionary measure. And I'll be in touch tomorrow once I have secured a ruby vault with money in it for you for the operations, and we can get into business.
All right. Scalen Kelenar is going to wave his finger in the air, kind of like shaking it of the pain away from being pricked. And he's going to nod and say, "All right, I'm going to get back to my dinner then." He goes and climbs onto the box he was at and say, "I look forward to working with you, Mr. Delson."
Mr. Delson, yes. As you were.
All right.
So Nyoka holds up just a couple of steps, and Nyoka's like, "Just a second, boss. I want another bite. I'll catch up."
Okay, Nyoka.
And when Kyra gets just out of earshot, right? He is going to not do a very good intimidation, but he's going to intimidate. what's the halfling's name again?
Scalen Kilinar.
Galen. He's gonna say, friend Kyrith is a nice guy who does try and help people. Just remember, I'm watching, and I am not such a nice guy. You don't betray Nyoka's friends, or Nyoka will come after you.
He's going to nod and say, "I've got no intention of it. But if you see that paladin of yours around, tell him just leave me alone."
Understand? You don't like him either.
Mm-hmm.
And Nyoka's gonna walk off and catch up.
All right. You guys are able to reconvene with the rest of the party. I believe the rest of the party was just biding time before you guys get a... Well, actually, who would get this? Look, how many people do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll me a d6.
Boo, I'll roll it.
Yeah, anybody. Yeah, I just need one person to roll a d6, and that's how we're going to determine who gets this sending. Did you roll it, Shelby? Okay, there we go. I see it. Lex!
Yes?
You're going to get a sending.
Ooh, what do I get?
You are going to get a sending from Anaralis, and it is going to say, can we meet in my office? It's about our next deployment. Also, do you guys not like me?
Oh no! Okay, I'm gonna go over then. Well, is anybody else with me?
Yeah, the whole party's together. You guys are
Yay,
all
okay.
dotted at various points, and
I'm gonna take Kayeth, because Kayeth is the self-proclaimed leader, so he should know.
Mhm.
So I tell them all, and then I bring him along.
Well, maybe we should all go if it's about our next mission. And yeah, I guess we're not getting a new advisor, and Onda's told Anaralis about it. Awkward.
Azuriel finishes his last song and then join them.
okay. Is there anybody that's not going?
I'm heading along.
All right. So the party heads into the island of, or not the island of Coven. You guys are on the island. Into Anaralis's chambers. They are in the Academy of Insight. Into his small little office. As you all file in here. Go ahead.
Since Lex got the sending, Kayeth won't go in first, and he'll
Okay.
sort of stand in the middle of the group.
As you all file in here, there is and I'll make this person a card. There is a woman that Nyoka recognizes, standing with Anaralis at the desk, and Anaralis is also at the desk looking down. What is going on, computer? Why do you hate me tonight? So that's cool. Give me 1 second. I'm going to... Do I have Mozilla Firefox on this computer? Google Chrome is really, really hating Roll20 tonight for some reason. So I'm just going to open this in Firefox. Because Firefox is a lot more friendly with Roll20. Let's log in over here. If you guys want to take a few seconds to talk amongst yourselves, you're welcome to.
Anyone hear the music playing? I don't hear the music playing.
I can hear.
I turned that off, Steve. I have no idea.
I do have the music playing, but for me, Roll20 was being really glitchy with Google Chrome, and it was cutting in and out, and it was also freezing up sporadically. I just stopped it and started it again.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I can scroll, and I can I click things as I hover over things? They are lighting up. Silver sigil. I can click things. Nice. All right. Much better. And if I press F5, can I still access the rest of this? Yes, I can. Cool beans. Okay. Walking into Anaralis's office, there is another woman standing at the desk with him. As the party files in, Nyoka recognizes her, and she is going to turn around and say, I only needed the girl, or excuse me, I was going to say I only needed the one Theolite was interested in, but I guess the lot of them will be able to answer my questions. Anaralis is going to gesture to the woman standing next to him. She has, let's look at this. No, this isn't the person. There we go. She has long brown hair pulled into a ponytail, and she has got dark, deep purple skin, and her eyes are glowing slightly blue, and she's got a long devil's tail swaying behind her. Nyoka, you recognize Simmer, the woman you talked to in the halls the other night, and Anaralis is going to say, "Allow me to introduce Simmer. She'll be in charge of your next deployment to Lothrone. Undis told me that he elected to go with someone else, but..."
So Nyoka is going to go, "Oh, pretty lady, glad you're here," and he's going to give her a hug, but it's just a hug. And then he's going to hug Aurelius, and he's going to try and pick his pocket.
Go ahead and roll me the sleight of hand check. And as you hug Anaralis, he's going to say, "I was trying to get in charge of your guys' Lothrone deployment. I thought we were friends in this matter, but Simmer is going to speak up and say, hey, there are no such things as friends in this region, Anaralis. You got a less than stellar recommendation, and so the job was given to me." He's going to look towards you guys and say, "Did you guys not want me to help you in Lothrone?"
I'm going to look at her and say, "Should we go somewhere else?"
As you pick Anaralis's pockets, he's going to look at Nyoka and say, "You're the only one who's nice to me." Looking.
Lex isn't nice or mean. Lex just doesn't care.
Looking through Anaralis's pockets, you're going to grab a sheet of paper, and you're also able to grab 4 silver coins too.
Kayath will be looking at the ground, and it wasn't our decision, sir.
Simmer, when you ask, if you can go someplace else, Simmer is going to nod and say, yeah, I don't spend much time inside of Coven. I prefer to travel and spend time in the regions that I oversee. I don't have offices here, but we can get an alcove and discuss there.
Excellent.
Nyoka is going to look at Aurelius and go, she helped me with the problem I had. She's nice.
Azur will go after you and let her lead the way out.
And Aurelius, as you guys walk away, he's gonna wave and say, "Oh, all right, bye. I hope to see you guys around Coven more."
Likewise, how you find your place in the hierarchy?
Azur will call to him. Don't forget about that lady of yours.
And Aurelius is going to reach into his pocket and say, well, the strangest thing about that, actually, I wanted to ask you, when he starts feeling around in his pockets,
Azur will pause and watch.
As he looks panicked and says, oh no, she wrote me a letter. And Simmer is going to look at him and say, I hope you honestly didn't file a letter from your love life in with one of your reports. He's going to start looking through his folders.
Azur is trying not to laugh.
And Aurelius is going to say, get out! Just get out! Get out! And at which point Simmer is going to start walking out and say...
Azur will straighten his... Go ahead. I was going to say, Azur will straighten his face and say, I really do want to know what it said. Do you remember?
He is going to say, Trox told me to stop having my agents handle my romantic ties. Did you guys talk to her? 'Cause I didn't send you to do anything with her. I was really confused.
He's just saying, man up, take action. She's waiting, you know? Do stuff.
This is a train wreck.
And Aurelius is going to nod and say, so you did? I really don't need you guys to interfere on that behalf. I mean, I wasn't interested in her before, but I mean, now we'll discuss this later. We'll see each other around. But until then, my last order as your advisor is don't go talking to her about me.
Understood.
Azur walks away.
He's going to straighten up and say, well, as you were. And Aurelius, looks as proper as he can behind his desk. As you guys leave, you're gonna start hearing crying, emotional music just playing. I'm kidding. All right, so going to let's see. The Academy of Insight is where the libraries would be. Heading and finding an alcove inside of the library, Simmer is going to sit down at a table and say, all right, I'll just be real straight with you. I'm a no-nonsense type of person, and I like my agents and my lore keepers to behave the same way. People who are innocent and people who don't have the galls to do what needs to be done around here can find themselves a different advisor to serve. Low Throne is a place of war-hungry metal monstrosities that live there. You won't fit in. There will be no blending in. You'll be doing some reconnaissance there. And that said, the place is littered with kayak runes, and there are some things I'd like you to retrieve for me while you're in the region, and I can make my assessment about what's going on there once I receive your full report. All of that goes without saying. I asked your companion here, as they gesture towards Lex, here on a matter of, on rather a personal matter. You see, if you want to move ahead in the Silver Sigil, you need to have ties with those above you. The Senator is interested in some of the things that you're tied to. She informed me of this.
Is this the group again?
Is this the group again? Is that what Lex asked?
No, this is out of character. In character though, is this... what's the name of the elf?
The elf who invited Lex to the circle?
Yes.
Kun.
Okay, I'm gonna ask if this is about Kun.
Let's see. She is going to nod and say, yes, it is about Kun. So that is the woman who invited you to their circle. Correct.
Yes.
Alright, so if it pertains to anything that's going to be involved with our missions, I'm going to need you to keep your personal matters and your relationships separate. However, if it doesn't pertain to anything involved in our missions, keep your relationships and personal matters separate. However, I am going to need to know who this lady is and how a high elf drew interest in. She gestures towards Lex.
Okay. I think Lex is probably just gonna give her a summary of what's, like, how they met, and like what's been going on, and how Kun stalked them all the way to the Silver Sigil, which is like way creepy, but whatever.
Do you tell her Anaralis is running a covert operation to re-infiltrate them?
Yeah.
So Anaralis has information about this whole time.
Really? Oh, that's, yeah.
No, yeah, she asked that.
Wait, yeah. He does. But like surface level.
Nyoka interrupts and says, "See why we wanted a new one?"
She's going to nod and say, I'm not opposed to telling him how, or rather, it's not my position to tell him how to do his job, but I get his mission of going to Lothrone, and investigating who knows what in the godforsaken marsh waters, while he gets to command agents around infiltrating a high elven death cult. Life's really unfair, you know. Alright, in any case, I won't compromise his operations, but I will let Senator Theolite know.
I would advise making sure his operations actually succeed. I would be concerned that they will fail due to a lack of competence.
Yeah, and she's going to speak up and say, and I don't dilly-dally or mince feelings, but I will apologize to you personally. I didn't know Ondis didn't inform Anaralis why he was replaced on this mission. That slip of the tongue came from me. In any case, she is going to say, well,
Inarelis isn't doing this on any official orders. It just thinks he's doing something on his own.
Azure says that?
Yeah.
She's going to tilt her head and say, so, wait, his off-the-books operation isn't from any superior?
Not that I know of. He just heard about this lady and for some reason decided to, instead of like capture and remove her from, being like a spy here, like re-infiltrate her or something strange.
Yes, as soon as it became aware to me that Kun was involved with the cult and she was on her way here, I informed Anarelis as quickly as I could and suggested that she be detained immediately for interrogation. He chose not to do that and instead decided to try and infiltrate the cult. I did not question his decision or where it came from.
She's going to nod and say, well, the senator will deal with his actions. However, if that mission gets put under me, she rubs her chin. And she's going to say, in any case, I don't mince personal business and business. I do mince business, and business. While you're on your way to Lothrone, the teleportation that I set up for you will get you to Misthaven. There's a certain kayak rune, one that has, some difficulty. It's a particular set of security that was never dispelled over the ages. I would like this crypt raided, and if there is anything left down there that the crown hasn't picked over, I'd like it to be brought to me. I do make a hobby out of selling items of that nature. I can give you more information about it when you're ready to go.
Nyoka's gonna say, what's her cut?
She'll say if I sell to the crown, 20% of whatever I get, and if I sell to the sigil, 15%.
Very well.
How about just 20% across the board?
There's a lot of us here to divide money amongst. It's not much when you divide it.
She's going to nod and say, if you feel comfortable for it, 20% across the board, depending on your discern and what you're able to recover.
Brandon, is there something we can roll to check if we know anything about kayak runes?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, what, history or insight or?
Yeah, you can roll me a history check, and that would, in any case, I would say it's going to be a history check. I can't think of another one that would be relevant to this region. Investigation would be an active check if you were asking other people. Azure.
Mm-hmm.
I want in on that. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead and go for it. So Azure and Nyoka, you are both going, and Wilbert, you're both going to know that this whole continent was once, a unified empire. More specifically, you're going to know that the throne of power for this empire was just south of Low Lakes, And as such, that region is littered with temples, ruins, crypts, etc., etc., etc. For Nyoka and Wilbert specifically, you are going to know there is a member of the crown, one of the princes, Prince, I believe, Tydethel, makes a fortune off of raiding these runes and taking the items that he raises and extorting the different organizations that seek knowledge across the world for these artifacts, selling them to the university, the Jaridale Monolith, even the Maeve here. It is generally frowned upon, I guess. And so I guess I'll move to Wilbert on this. At the 18, it's generally frowned upon to have dealings with Tydethel, as he is probably one of the most, he's probably one of the scummiest members of the crown, but it's hard to rank scumminess amongst them. But pretty much, if you give him something, it's like the dark web. So her saying 15% if I sell to the Maeve is probably saying if I sell it, whatever. But if 20% if I sell to the crown, it's just and the discretion that comes along with, doing business with them.
Wilbert's going to tap his chin and think about it. It's like, now wait a minute. You mentioned the prince, right? So you're wanting us to cut in on this guy's, livelihood and sell it back to him while we're on a mission, and you're just talking about 20%?
Well, that's why I would be paying you more.
More to me is more like 40%. We're not your we're there to do the mission. We're not your errand runners.
Also, isn't it dangerous gathering these runes? Can't things go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to nod and say, yes. Clearly I was mistaken to ask such a task of you. I'll take care of it on my own time in the future.
Sounds good. You can do it for free that way.
Get off of that.
How does one even safely collect such a rune?
She's going to laugh and say, the Kyans had ways of animating things, bringing them to life, making them levitate, float, fly, attack. There's no safe about it.
Nyoka's going to speak up and say, I'd rather be paid than not. I get the danger, but that's what we're here for.
We're here to get paid.
I'll do it for 20% off the board.
Since this is a new working relationship, I'm sure that we can come to the table and help you out for a 20% cut, and show that we are good companions for mixing business with business.
She's going to nod at this and say, you know what? I like you a lot. And she'll point to Wilbert and say, you got a smart head on your shoulder. One item that's of value, 20%. You get anything above and beyond that can be negotiated.
Well, we're negotiating now.
Well, if you bring me a rock, I'll give you 100% of what it sells for.
Don't insult us. We're negotiating now. I'm not doing work unless I know I'm good and getting paid for it. Put your numbers on the table while we're talking numbers. Or let us be on our way.
she'll say, all right, one item, 20%. A second item, if it is of value and can be sold for a decent amount of gold, regardless of what it is, 400 gold. That way you're satisfied in one cut or you're satisfied in the other.
Did that 18 give me any idea of what these things are worth?
Yeah, what can be found down here? If you are pointed to the right place, and it's not easy finding these things because they're already so rated, and the ones that aren't rated are either too intricate to get inside of or too well defended to get things out of. If there's anything left down here, any reasonable artifact could easily sell for between, and I'm not making you roll for this, could easily sell between 1,200 gold and 2,000 gold of just like, here's like a preserved miniature statue or figurine of the goddess Diomede, or the god Diomede, that's made in bronze. And it's like, well, that's not very valuable, but it also tells us a lot about their culture, and we'll give you a good 1,200 for something like that. Here's a crown made out of this one type of stone, and it's just like, again, that would have, if it was like a normal crown, that'd have like a value of like 800 gold, but because it's from their culture, it'd be like 2,000.
So we're talking anywhere between four to 2 grand here.
1 to 2 grand for items of decent rarity.
Okay. He's gonna look at her.
Now,
and kind of like,
that is to say, there have been very, very big discoveries inside of these tombs, and things that could easily sell for upwards of like 10,000 gold to the right place. However, the belief is most of those things have been found.
Okay, but 400. Okay, so we're looking at. All right, he's gonna cross his arms and shake his head. You're gonna be turning at least $800 for me from one of these. But but more likely you're going to be getting from 1,000 to 1,200 gold from one of these. So you're talking 25%, maybe.
Azura is going to chime in and try persuading, and say, besides, if we're going into a place that you have just gotten some information about that hasn't been entered at all, there's going to be something of great value in there.
And you could be walking away with 10k.
Plus, we're creating a feat that hasn't been accomplished by anyone who attempted it before. Therefore, this is worth much more. You want me to roll the persuasion?
Go ahead, roll it.
Can I assist?
Sure.
I assist.
All right. She is going to nod, which she's going to say, which is why I offered you a percentage of something valuable, or a flat amount if you bring back something that isn't valuable. And if you were more comfortable with it, how about 20 and 33%?
20 and 45, did I hear you say?
20 and 35, she says.
She said 33. I said 45.
Yeah, Wilbert said 35. Yeah, and she'll rub her eyes and say, "You guys really are from the clutch." 45% of a second item.
That's better. Now we're talking business.
And with that arrangement, you only get 2 items. Interesting. So be it.
This isn't our main focus anyway.
So to recap, our plan is to go. You'll arrange teleportation to Misthaven and give us instructions on where the kayak rune is, and
she's going to
what after that?
And she's going to say, well, your job is to scout what the Shield Hand is doing inside of Lothrone. This information from this Dean Doolin's the first we've heard of this. There's only one settlement in Lothrone that we know of, and that's Lothrone itself. And those Stonehearts don't abide anybody inside of their territory.
So we will be in hostile territory with no cover or means to negotiate with the inhabitants?
Well, if we had, the universal language of parlay is gold. So, if y'all could come off a little bit of y'all's hard-earned gold, we might have a stipend that we could, make our own security in the area.
This would help our success.
You and about 1,000 other agents.
Well, from the way y'all are grabbing money off of other people, I'd imagine y'all have got something to come off of.
She's going to shake her hand and say, No. What you do for me on the side while you're in Lothrone is purely my own personal profit.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of that, what have you learned about researching what others have tried to get past this defense?
She'll stand up and start leading you guys to the Academy of Divination. And she'll say, well, the understanding of the magic that seals the crypt has been gleaned off of the words of the Emperor himself, she says, with quotations. And some associates that I am aware of have undid the first set of magical arcane precautions that the Kayans put in place for this crypt. As far as what's deeper into it, I do know they encountered a little bit of trouble, as they were simply tomb robbers, not anybody equipped, or not mercenaries equipped in the ways of any type of combat that's worthy of note. That said, when the call went out for assistance from them, I might have heard it through some channels. If you guys get there, and you get in and you get out before the assistance gets there, perhaps just a few animated constructs might be all that lurks down there.
Are those living things?
She's going to say, and they've been sealed in a hole for 500 years. I don't think they're living at all.
So time is of the essence if there is assistance on the...
She's going to nod and say, and if you are unsuccessful and it's too out of the way or you're unable to do it, I won't hold it against you in any of our silver sigil matters. Things like this are understandable in this region.
Understood. So how are we to get to Lothrone and to return, transportation-wise?
She is going to say, well, from Misthaven, you can travel either by road or boat to Ziwatekis.
Boat, please. Do you know some boat people?
She's Yeah, well, she's gonna say you can hire somebody to take you across the lake yourself.
Whoever raises his hand. I've spent a little time on ships before.
From Zewatekis, it's going to be a bit of a hike through the marshes. You'll have one river. You'll have one river to fill up on clean water. And then from there, once you get into Lothrone, the pH balance of the water is too acidic for any reasonable person to drink. If you'll be able to hunt anything in the region, she's going to shrug and say, make sure you have food and rations before you leave Zewatekis.
Now, when you say acidic, do you mean necrotic? Because that's what I encountered last time someone handed me water.
She's going to shake her head and say, necrotic? No. Acidic as in it's a bog. The water is too toxic for anything to live in it. She's going to shrug and say, I don't know what to say. You get in the water and you itch a lot. You drink the water and your throat closes up. You get sick. It's like drinking seawater.
Those are nods. Can we see a map of this at any closer state, Brandon?
You're asking me? Yes.
Yeah.
I'll move you here, but if you want, I can stream a map into Discord, and that might be easier for you guys. So let me do that because the Zoom. Oh my God, Google Chrome, you stupid program, you. Let's see. Let's stream my screen. Okay, so if you guys go ahead and open up Discord and look, I've gone live, and you can click and see I've got the map open here, and it'll be a little bit easier for me to show you guys. So you're at Coven. From Coven, you are being teleported to Misthaven. Misthaven is right here, and the closest city is Zewatekis to Lothrone. Your other options are the Darkened Port, but not everybody's welcome there. And as far as if this personal person has any contacts in Darkened Port, not likely. As far as getting you guys teleported.
So
and the
where
other
does
option is Dagger Gully, but yeah, again, not going to be someplace they can teleport you into.
Where is the border of the Darkened Empire?
The Darkened Empire is right here. The sigil does have and this is knowledge you guys don't know. They do have permission from the Empress to teleport into her throne in New Alil land. But the rest of her empire is not free access to the sigil. But yeah,
okay. So
this area
so
is
it's
the Darkened Vale.
At that lake there is kind of the border.
Yeah. Actually, I can show you it. Let's see. States, rivers, height map. We'll close that. And okay, so this green is the Darkened Empire. If you see that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And Lothrone is kind of all no man's land. Zewatekis is the edge of the Low Lakes territory.
Alrighty.
All right, I'm gonna stop this.
Do you have any? Will you be communicating to us with sendings, or do you have sending stones, or how are we to stay in touch on Amazon?
Ooh, she's going to. She is going to produce a scroll and hand it to you and say, "You've only got one shot at this, so don't mess it up. But here is a scroll of teleportation circle. On it in the bottom of the page, you can see the sigil of the Silver Sigil's receiving house in the north, where you'll be able to teleport into the gatehouse." And she's going to say, once you have what you need and you've properly assessed the situation, all of you get out. If you are unable to do so, then I suppose in 4 days' time I can send you a sending, and you can reply to it.
Yes, if one of us happens to get separated, it might be important.
Understood. I have no further questions.
All right.
So do you have some documents describing these ruins and things like that?
Yeah, I was trying to do something, but again, my Google Chrome's acting dumb, so that's going to be a fun thing to deal with. Yeah, she's going to say, yes, they are just south of Zewatekis. They're a burial crypt. Not many of the Kayak emperors were not many of the Kayak emperors were buried in the south. Most of their bodies were brought to the mountains of High Throne. That said, whoever was buried down and are buried down in the region of Low Throne, there had to be some reason to it. We think it's members of, or rather the last members of the family lines as the Empire was falling. What might be inside these crypts? Maybe weapons that they fell with on the battlefield. The bodies will be decayed and rotted. No time left to embalm them. If you find anything down there, though, they would try and send off their fallen soldiers. Anybody guarding this royal member with tales of their valor, of how they fell. Tapestries might be inside of this vault. The whatever shattered remnants of weapons or armor on this fallen member might be inside of this crypt. If you see either, simply lift them from the dead, as they won't be needing them anymore.
Weapons, armor, and tapestry.
Go ahead.
No, that was it. Understood.
Have there been any magical traps or things like that set near the tomb inside? Or just these kinds of protections you're speaking of from the outside?
Does she have information? She's going to shake her head and say, if you need to gather more information before you go inside, feel free to when you get to the camp. And that said, you're robbing grave robbers. I only know the information that they've put out about this place.
All right, let's
Do you
make
have any
haste.
idea when assistance will be arriving?
Say it again?
Do you have any idea of when assistance will be arriving? How long do we have?
The information's flimsy, and it's quite a march for any of Tide Ethel's forces. He's not going to teleport them in there himself. I'd say if it got here to Coven and they left immediately, you might have 2 days before they get there. By the time you're in Zewatekis, that is.
Very well. We shall prepare, and where do we find you when we're ready to leave?
Oh, by the way, she's been leading you to the Academy of Divination. And as you step in, you can see Trox is already awaiting at her scrying pool, and she's going to say, Simmer, inform me that you need transportation towards Misthaven. I figure with as much as I've already helped you out, I might as well keep the trend going.
Much obliged.
And she's going to say, I can take you to Jarideth, or I can take you outside of the city. I'm prepared for either. Simmer is going to gesture towards Trox, and with two tieflings slowly wagging their tails, she's going to say, "You leave when you're ready."
I'm gonna hug Trox, and I'm gonna try and plant the paper that I nicked from Aurelius.
Have you read it?
I have not.
Okay.
But I have a pretty good guess that it's the letter that she sent him, saying to get us out of the there. So. Okay. Go for it. Give me. As you go to hug her, this is a very strange gesture for people in the clutch. She is going to push you away, of just like, stop. You can try and slip it onto her person though. Yeah, everybody who has higher than a passive 14 perception is going to notice, Nyoka slipping something onto or into Trox's robes. Otherwise, Trox doesn't notice. All right. So, with that, Simmer is going to say, "It's not my job to tell you how to do your job, or it's not my place to tell you how to do your job. It's my place to tell you what to do. I need information about Lothrone. I don't know what's there. Before I can make a plan, I want your report on it. When I hear back from you, we'll move forward. Go whenever you are ready." That said, I do think the shield hand is causing Andis some stress, so perhaps the sooner the better. At which point, Simmer is going to start walking away.
She's awesome.
Thanks, competent leader.
I like her.
She's a Skinner. Of course she is.
That's why.
So,
I like
when
her.
do folks want to leave? Do we need time to prepare?
No,
Alzur's got all his stuff. Pretty
I
sure.
can take care. I can take care of the water bit. I get 8 gallons a day out of my jug.
Nyoka not hungry.
Water or alcohol? Because that's a
Yes.
different thing.
All of those things.
I need maybe 1 hour for some errands, just to tie up some loose ends. But then I'm happy to depart this evening if people are, or we can depart first thing in the morning with daylight and not have to worry about where we sleep for the evening.
You got bedrolls? You got
Is
tension
it
levels?
Brandon, is this
Yes.
a new day, or is it still, like, just about to be dusk?
It's still about to be dusk. As much time that has passed of us talking, a little bit more time has passed in game. So we'd be going on we'd probably be touching about 7:30. Just
I'd say
taking
we
into
go first,
account
right?
the time it takes you guys to travel places.
Let's go to get packed and stuff. Most of the time we're already there, and then just at least sleep in a normal bed.
And if we get provisions here, then it's one less thing to do in Misthaven.
All right.
I will head to the quartermaster then and make sure we have provisions for our travels. I suspect maybe a week worth of provisions, just to be sure. And then I will see everybody in the morning.
I'd recommend 10 days.
A lot can happen
10 days?
in a week.
Always get more than you need when stuff.
As you wish. 10 days of provisions for 7 people.
Wilbur's going to hand in 15 gold. That's towards my cut.
Oh, thank you, Wilbur. And do you have a will and testament in order? This is a dangerous line of business, and it would be good if we knew what to do with your possessions if you were to depart us.
I forgot about that again.
I don't have any family to give them to. Just take them, sell them. I don't care. I'm dead.
Okay. Noted. Okay, as you wish. Earl, anyone need anything from the quartermaster?
Oh, throw about 20 foot of rope on that. That should cover it. I don't have enough rope. It makes me nervous. If you don't
Okay,
mind.
20 feet of rope.
Thank you. Forward. Actually, I don't think it comes at 20 foot. I think it comes at like 50 foot parcels, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, well then I would have said 2. It would be 100 feet of rope, so 2 instances of rope is what I meant to say.
I'm actually going to assist Kaya.
Okay.
And then when we're together, I pull out the wand and say, "Should we sell this thing or keep it?"
I think it's most useful to keep. Who knows what creatures we will meet and whether they speak our language or not.
Fair enough. And I go and put it back in my pouch.
Oops.
All right.
So yeah, Kath just wants to go to the quartermaster and then get some provisions, rope, and head to bed.
Okay. By the way, Steve, for Azure
Yep.
with that whip of mending,
Yep.
the abilities of the whip weren't anything, or the abilities of the chain weren't anything magical. That was Dean Dillon's skill with using chain as a weapon. The magic of the chain of mending is you can break it, and placing it next to each other, it mends itself. So let's say you tie up somebody with it and they are too strong and they break the chain. In a few moments, the pieces of the chain put themselves back together into a usable chain. If something crushes it, or you try and pull something that's too heavy for the chain and it snaps, you just put it back together. Or if you need to break off a length and use it for something, and then use the other length for something else, you can then recombine the pieces.
Right. Otherwise, it's just a regular chain.
Yes.
I just made notes of the chain master there as notes about the ability she had, basically.
Okay. All right. So the party heads towards not Dean Dolan. Heads towards the quartermaster and the Academy of Innovation. Quartermaster Fredenea, is used to seeing your faces.
Oh, I give. By the way, I'm going to give Kyra 2 silver. To the group fund.
All right, she's going to look at all of you and say, "Come to cash in your earnings."
To purchase provisions for the next mission.
All right. She is going to. Oh, come on, book. Say you can purchase provisions for the mission from the base cost of the player's handbook. Alright, so you need 70 rations. That's going to be 35 gold pieces. You ideally want a barrel to put some water in, or you can get a bajillion water skins. A barrel is 2 gold. It weighs 70 pounds, but I would say it's going to be triple that when it's full.
Does it fit in the bag of holding?
Oh, how big is the opening for the bag of holding? Isn't it 5? Oh, well, actually, let me look up the bag of holding.
How many gallons did that thing hold, you said?
Barrel holds 100 gallons of water, I believe.
I don't think we'll be able to carry a barrel of water with us.
Oh, it holds... I'm sorry, it holds 40 gallons of liquid.
I mean, even... That's
2 feet in diameter.
Wait.
If it fits in the bag of holding, yes.
Yeah, let's see. Well, don't you have the alchemical pots? Don't those create?
Yeah, I already mentioned that.
Okay, that's my bad as a player. Or not as a player, as a dungeon master. I didn't hear you say that. But
Bag of holding is 2 feet in diameter.
So if you have the alchemical jug, then you won't have to worry about water once you get too far south that much. And yeah, the bag of holding is 2 feet diameter, so yeah, it wouldn't fit a barrel. That said, you could get a bajillion water skins if you want. You could get 2 per person. There's 7 of you, so that'd be 14 water skins.
Yeah, I'll insist on getting 2 more water skins for sure.
Okay, so 16 water skins is going to be 3 gold and 2 silver.
3 gold, 2 silver. So
Yep.
38.2. So
If you guys want to camp comfortably, tents in case of rain is never a bad idea. And bedrolls for each person. So 7 bedrolls is 7 gold. And then you guys can
I already have a bedroll.
Okay.
So do I.
Yeah, if you have your starter kit, if you chose to take your starter kit instead of taking gold, a lot of those packs come with a bedroll in them. So 5 bedrolls then that you guys will need will be 5 gold. As far as a tent, tents suit 2 people, so 4 tents would be enough for all of you, and that would be 8 gold if you want to do 4 tents. I don't think Azure or Nyoka needs to sleep, regardless of the conditions. Oh, well, yeah, Azure actually needs to long rest to recover spell slots. Nyoka doesn't need to sleep.
I also do have a bedroll as well. I was just double checking.
Okay, so 4 bedrolls then would be 4 gold.
No, I have one too.
Okay, well...
But I don't need to sleep.
Yeah. Skimping out on Nyoka's tent, you could get away with 7 tents, or not 7 tents, 3 tents, but that's if you want a soggy, wet lizard person if it rains.
4 tents.
I got
I don't
it
know
wrong.
any...
I have water skins. I don't have the bedroll.
Okay. Well, you should be covered, taking Nyoka's or with one of the extras Kayeth purchases. Anything else
Alright.
that you want is on you. Grappling hooks are never a bad idea. If your character doesn't have a climb speed, that's going to make climbing a lot easier. Wilbur wanted rope. You can get him regular rope at 1 gold. Go ahead, Steve.
The grappling hook, yes. I want one.
Okay, grappling hook is 2 gold. They have one here for you.
Cheap firewood.
Cheap firewood. That would make sense.
Yep.
We'll probably be able to find some, though.
Yeah, you would be able to find some, but just having some stored in your bag of holding is always going to make your life easier. That way you don't have to go and forage. I have kidnapped players before from campsites. There's precedence for this. Let's see.
Well, I was thinking at least it'd be dry, so we can, in a pinch, we can start a fire if need be.
Yeah, it's not listed in the trade goods, but I'm gonna say for 1 pound of firewood, it's going to cost you guys 2 copper. Or, you know what? Actually, I'm going to go with 4 copper. 1 pound of firewood costs you 4 copper, and this is cheap burnable wood.
How
much do you want?
I'll spend that. I'll spend a silver's worth.
8 silver? Okay.
No,
That's...
a silver 1.
Oh, okay. So that's going to...
Good God, 8 silver worth is a lot of firewood.
Yeah.
That's going to, like, put... How much can you carry in that bag of holding? Like
500 pounds.
That's going to...
All right. Any...
Lantern, torches, oil?
Oil? Torches?
Yeah, or lanterns or torches if we're going underground.
People who, again, took their packs should have plenty of torches. You should have 10. But,
I have 10.
Yeah, extra torches would never be a bad idea. I never say oil's a bad idea. Oil's always great. A flask of oil is 1 silver piece.
Right, let's get 10 flasks of oil.
Okay. And the quartermaster is able to provide it all to you. Also, there's a costume in the player's handbook for 5 gold pieces. You could dress yourself up like a warforged. Hello, Metal Man. I too am Metal Man. Show us to your camp.
I'm just picturing a metal man with Mago's head sticking out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like lizard head.
Can I exchange coin to larger... Can I get like platinum pieces without any extra cost? Or?
I don't do platinum pieces because that's a lot for my brain to keep up with. But you can exchange them out for gemstones. She will do that for you. You can exchange any amount of coins you want for gemstones that are worth increments of 10 gold.
Alright, I'll get a 120 gold piece gemstone.
Okay. She'll look through her box and present you with one of an equivalent value, taking your coins. The gemstone's weight is negligible.
Should I just choose what type it is, or?
Yeah, go... Well, actually, you know what? I'll roll you a, it's a emerald.
Okay.
Superior gem. Except maybe rubies. I love rubies.
Oh, Brendan, like always, I'm going to purchase some project material.
Okay.
You mean like wood? The kind you just spent like 8 silvers worth of?
Well, that was firewood. That's not good carving wood.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I would say a pound of craftsman's wood of just like like a really like hardy piece of like cedar or oak or something like that would be I would just say 1 silver piece, and that would give you a cut of it that is about 1.5 feet long. And
Do you have like bloodwood or purple wood? Purple heartwood?
Purple heartwood? Let's see. We'll just roll the percentage die on that. She does not have any purple heartwood, but she would have some redwood here. That gets closer to that crimson color.
Well, purple heart is actually purple, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
bloodwood is like the deep red.
Yeah,
Yeah, my sister likes using purple heartwood a lot.
she
Not a
would.
character.
Yeah, she would have bloodwood.
Okay, so I'll do some bloodwood and some like maple
Okay,
if she has it,
and
I'll do 3 silvers worth.
okay, and that will give you 3 of like pretty well sized 2x4 planks.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just to completely derail this conversation for 1 minute. Does purple wood have like a scent to it, like cedar does?
Not that I know of.
Oh,
Not
that's
really.
okay. But proceed.
Okay, so I will show my instruments to her and ask if she has anything that could effectively work as protective cases for these. That's the lute and the kinanda.
The Kinanda actually just doesn't need it. It has a tie for you.
She'll sell you a nice sack to put your loot in.
Okay. How much does she charge?
The sack is not the normal sack out of the player's handbook. It is 5 copper pieces, and it is not silk, but it is a cottony material that is thicker than and a little bit more floofy than the burlap sack would be.
But is it like waxed or something? I mean, I need it to be waterproof, kind of.
Yeah, she's not going to have a case that specifically fits your loot. You know what? She would have a fishing box here. She would have supplies for fishing people. She'll sell you a fishing box that seals and is waterproof. Taking everything out of it, you're able to put your loot in here.
Okay.
That's a big tackle box.
Yeah, it's a big old one. It's one ideally you'd put on a ship. For this, let's see. She'll sell it to you for the same price as a barrel, 2 gold pieces.
Done.
She actually just sells you a barrel.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on just a second.
Kayeth wants to make a little package for Scaling Kalinar, which he'll put in 4 ingredients for healing potions and 300 gold, and he'll ask the quartermaster if she can hold it and give it to him when he comes in.
Okay.
And then he'll write a little message and then try and find a messenger to send that to Scaling Kalinar.
Okay. Yeah, Frey and Nea will take care of it. And it's worth noting that while you guys are down here, you're not the only person who comes into these quarters. Occasionally, as she's helping you and she's sending her hirelings to run and grab things that you're ordering, she's taking notes. Other people are coming in while you guys are waiting for your stuff, ordering things, and she's sending, more runners back and forth. All right, so you guys can calculate all of that. If you need me to, I can go back and do the math real quick.
I've got a 53.8 gold for the party stuff, and
Okay.
I've updated the bag of holding on the spreadsheet.
Are you subtracting it from the party fund, or do you need to do math dividing it amongst people?
That's from the party fund, and Kaif will inform everyone. So that comes to 53 gold and 8 silvers in total. There's now 333 gold and 5 silvers left in the party fund, so we're well equipped.
You're adding that 15 I gave you, right?
Yes, I added that in. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Ooh, this is
You are now the
And
third highest contributor in the party.
Oh,
And Azur will actually take the 2 water skins himself and put them on his person.
By the way, too, while you guys are down here, there is a as you guys are getting ready to go, Freyanea will walk up to you and say, "Oh, you're Simmer's new agents and lore keepers. She paid for something out of her personal funds I needed to give you." She's going to go to a small lockbox and pull out a circular cylinder. It is a very nice case. Inside there is just opening it. If whoever receives this, there is a map of Ilderon on it. Just south of Low Lakes, there is an X over a region out in the middle of nowhere. And she's going to say she bought a very nice map, wanted you to have it, and
Azur will see if it'll fit inside with the loot in his box.
she gives you the scroll case too that goes with it, so it is waterproof on its own.
Okay.
That said, you guys have the location for the lost script. And you have your own personal party map if you ever get lost outside of a city. It's like, is that true here on this map?
It's worth noting that Wilbert has proficiency in navigator's tools.
Okay.
If we ever do that.
Oh, absolutely. You can see it anytime.
Just throw that
Kaif will buy some more inks for scribing spells, even though he doesn't have any to scribe at the moment. And done.
All right.
If only you could scribe from a scroll to a scroll, my friend.
The game would collapse on itself.
The party is going to go back to the boarding.
Nyoka is gonna ask Kyra, boss, can you put that in your magic book? The scroll. He points to
Which scroll?
The teleportation scroll that she gave.
No, not yet. One of these days.
Out of character, that'd probably be like a 9th level character or something, being able to put that in a book.
Yeah, it's about 3 days of game time.
Yeah.
That's about the pace we go through stuff.
Kai will ask about a Pearl of Power or a Ring of Spell Storing to see if she has them for sale at all. And just how much is he aiming for here?
A Pearl of Power. You can buy anything off the loot table from her, as she would have it in stock. I do believe I have that under 3 loot points, but I'll pull it up and give you the exact number right now. Let's see. Loot table. A
4
Pearl,
points.
Yeah, Pearl of Power is 4 points. She would have one here. And she'll part with it for 4 loot points or 400 gold, or with 350 gold.
Kai will do that.
All right. You can add a Pearl of Power to your character sheet. I'm sorry, it's 325 gold. 325 gold.
And a Ring of Spell Storing?
A Ring of Spell Storing. I believe that's on here too. That's going to be 8 loot points, and that is going to be a total of 735 gold if you're paying for it with gold.
Yeah, 735. Oh dear, it's his freedom money, but okay.
Don't need to be free.
Yeah, just need to be alive. Okay. Yeah. Done.
All right. The party is able to go back to the boarding house and all get into rooms for the evening. And otherwise, you're all able to go to sleep. Was there anything anybody wanted to handle from this day before I move on to the next day?
I'm just gonna spend my time quietly working on my project for Kirith.
Okay.
Kaif will attune to the items and load the Ring of Spell Storing up with some spells.
I actually do have something that I need to adjust for the group after the after a long rest.
Okay.
Okay, so when everybody wakes up and sort of, I guess, meet in the common room, whatever he's going to say. So I've been working something out, and I notice not a lot of people have a lot of magical gear. I picked up a couple of tricks during my tenure on my last ship, and right now I can only do 2 of them, but I can do rapid magical infusions to otherwise mundane items. So what do you think we need? I can make another jug if we need one.
Aren't you severely limited on how many of those you can make?
Well, I've got my own equipment. But what I'm talking about are temporary infusions. It lasts about 2 days before I have to do them again. These, like Pat's crossbow. This is just, this took me about 4 months to make. But this is permanent. But I can infuse 2 weapons here with magical power, with magical charge. I can make another alchemy jug. I can make another, he holds like tattered sea bag, another bottomless bag here.
Nyoka's like, that would actually be good.
Azur presents his two-handed silver, highly well-crafted sword.
Okay, he'll take that. I can do one more. If anybody's got a weapon they want.
Nyoka goes, if you're doing weapons, you should do Lexus.
Does she want me to?
She just sent a message in Discord that she has to do something, so she's not here at the moment.
Oh, I didn't.
I agree. I like Lex being alive. Last time she got in combat without the party, she was almost dead.
Okay. Well, if she hands over the weapon, I'll do it.
I don't know. Does she have a short sword or just daggers? I don't remember.
I think it's daggers.
I can only do one at a time, so I can't do both.
Right. I was just trying to think of which one would be best for her. It might be a dagger.
Well, whichever that ends up being, he will put a +1 on that, make it a plus. Make both of those weapons +1s, and that lasts for 2 days, I think, at this level. Let me double check. Pretty sure it's 2 days. Where is it? Infuse item 2. Yes, so it's 2 days.
Okay, so it's a +1 weapon for 2 days.
And it counts as a +1 magical weapon for 2 days.
Okay. While we're speaking of that, Brandon, do those chains count as a +1 item? That's what I was told at the time.
They do not. They do not.
They're not +1.
Yeah, they're magical, but they are not magically +1.
Okay.
So Annie, now that you're back, they were talking about possibly enchanting your weapon to give it a +1. That thing. Is it do you have a sword or is it daggers? We forget.
We don't hear you, Lex. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Oh, I had the push to talk turned off. That's why.
Okay. So what weapon do you have?
I have daggers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have daggers, and I think I have, like... No, I think that's, like, my main weapon. That's what I've used.
That's what I thought.
So
And
would
a
you...
crowbar.
That's not very good for backstabbing.
Oh, well, I mean...
Well...
Oh, I have a short sword and a short bow.
Well, which one of those would you want to be a +1 magical weapon?
Probably the short sword.
Yeah.
Short sword it is.
Because that's finesse, right? You can backstab with that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what Ioka uses.
Congratulations, you're overpowered for your level.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You're awesome.
Hey, I keep. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, the night before, Kaith wants to ask Anastasia for 2 Cure Light Wounds in the Ring of Spell Storing.
You want me to cast Cure Light?
Into this ring, yes.
I don't think I have. I don't have that one learned.
I can.
But I might have something else.
I can cast that for you. Sure.
If you can, thank you very much, Azure.
Yeah, I'll cast those 2 in there. You wouldn't prefer Sanctuary or Sleep?
No.
Would you prefer a Cure Wounds instead of a Cure Light Wound?
No, it's this is perfect. Thank you very much.
That's, out of character,
Okay.
that's the same thing, right?
Yeah, Cure Wounds
Okay.
and Cure Light Wounds are the same spell in this edition.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I'm old school.
Hey, out of character, Brandon.
Yes.
My Eldritch knowledge. Can you put those in Ring of Spell Storing, or are they?
No,
different because they're-
it
because they're
stores
lore.
Yeah, it stores spells.
Yeah, the Eldritch Invocations aren't actually spell slots.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So you can't put them in Ring of Spell Storing, right?
Can it only hold 2? Is it? Did you want 3?
No, it can. 2 is perfect. I'm making a little present.
Well, there you go. So I would have cast those for him the night before.
Cool. And then Kaith will go to Nyoka in the evening. Little friend, I have a gift for you, or a loan, perhaps.
What's this bus?
I know that I haven't been able to pay you what you're worth. I'm still working to get out of debt. But hopefully here's a little token to help you stay alive and to keep the rest of the party alive. And he'll give him the Ring of Spell Storing, which he's loaded up with 2 shields, a Featherfall, and the 2 Cure Wounds. Now this is a loan. I'd like it back at some stage, but hopefully this will keep you alive and help you keep others alive.
Okay, thank you, boss. Now I need to actually write that down.
All right.
Can you tell me what 2 Cure Wounds,
2 shields, 1 Featherfall.
2 shields, and 1 Featherfall? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and since I put the Cure Wounds in there, let's see, is it the spell's save DC that he would get, or spellcasting ability modifier? Where's that on the character sheet?
Your casting ability modifier is going to be your charisma modifier.
So my charisma modifier, and that would be just the number above my charisma?
Then yes, the number above it.
Okay, so +4, D8 +4 for those Cure Wounds.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, I'll put that in my bio as a note, just to let you know.
Okay.
If you're wondering.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I cast Cure Wounds, and I'll say, Nyoka doesn't have a +4. I'm kidding. Alright. So, otherwise, yeah, the party sleeps. You wake up in the morning. You meet with Wilbur.
One last thing, Brandon. How does the charges work for the wand?
For the wand, it gets a D4 -1. Charges back at sunrise. Do you want to roll it, or do you want me to roll it?
You can roll it.
Okay. No, actually, so that is the way.
Right, I'll roll it.
No. I'm not going to roll it. But actually, I was reading. So I made this item homebrew for you guys. And most magic items with charges do work like that. But these lower level ones, I was actually reading in Xanathar's, once you get into the common area, they regain all charges at sunrise. That you don't roll for them or keep up with things like this. They just regain all of their charges. So for the Wand of Comprehend Languages, it regains all of its charges when you wake up. You feel it brimming with magical energy.
That makes things easy.
Yeah, like if it was like a Helm of Teleportation or something like that, then yeah, I'd roll for it. But for a Wand of Comprehend Languages, you can comprehend languages when you need to desperately comprehend languages, probably.
Can Azur make a check to see if he thinks that constructs can be alive and or sentient?
Sure. I would say that would be closest to a Arcana check or a religion check.
Same difference for me. Okay.
Yeah, so sentience is a weird thing. There are things can become sentient with investiture of magical energy. If it's considered alive, would likely be no on Azure's front. Things that are considered alive in Ilderon mostly are created from some divine some divine source, like a god or an earth fire. Things that are sentient normally happen from magic, such as like an awakened chair.
Yeah. So does he consider himself to be alive?
Azure is not alive. Azure is undead.
Uh-huh.
You, for all intensive purposes, you are a. For all intensive purposes, Azure is a human who was alive, and you got killed so hard your body forgot that it was dead. Everything is still functioning in your body, but when it... I have a better metaphor. I don't know if you've ever been in a car that's ran out of gas, but when the gas tank gets on empty and the car still keeps running and everything functions fine, but then you turn it off and it won't turn back on again. Azure is essentially like that. You are out of gas, but your body hasn't realized it yet.
He runs on fumes of a soul, but doesn't have one anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And you keep consuming things to keep it going.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm. But yes, Azure is dead.
So what you're saying is he's a college student and uses his change to get a little bit of gas, but never fills the tank back up.
Yeah, exactly. Just puts a little, just a little tiny $2 fill up, and then keep going.
Oof, that hurts on a personal level.
Thanks for entertaining my philosophical check there. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I was like, what? Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I was setting up the next day. It's the 27th of Noble. The party is all together. You're able to eat in the boarding house. Is there anything you want to do, presumably, before you go to Trox to get teleported?
Eat lots of meat.
I'm gonna pocket some bacon in my smell bag.
Okay.
Because I like the smell of bacon. So now I have pocket bacon.
I mean, I'm assuming the bacon would rot eventually. I don't know how bacon does in a demi-plane, though.
Well, technically, bags of holding are a vacuum.
Yeah, exactly. That's what,
so there's
like.
no.
It's like being zip sealed.
Yeah, there's no bacteria in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Science. In D&D games.
So yeah, Nyoka can put bacon inside of his Heward's handy smell pack.
Open it up. Ooh, right.
Probably, eventually.
Alright. Did anybody want to do anything? Otherwise, I'm going to say you guys meet up with Trox, and she is going to teleport the lot of you. Oof.
I'll just drink some with Wilbert during breakfast.
I don't know.
Breakfast. That's my favorite.
Is it possible for Kai to get some scribes that he can, some like spells he can scribe on the road?
Yeah,
he
you're
has Trox or someone. I'm not sure how that works here.
You're asking to borrow some stuff from the library?
Yep.
Let's see. Where is my rank table? Alright, Caius. Oh, Caius. Caius is a member of the Silver Sigil and would have access to the Maeve's library. With your current rank, they will let you check out 2 books that you can take and bring with you. And you have to return them in good condition. Do you want me to roll you up random spells of what would be in those books, or is there anything specifically you're looking for?
Like first level divination and utility, identify, detect magic, floating disc sort of stuff. But random's fine, or that's what he's looking for though. And he doesn't want to spend too much time on it. He just wants to get on the road.
I will roll you a die, and I will roll you another die. Alright, you are going to get a book with 2 divination spells in it, and a book with 2 illusion spells in it. And I will send you a message after the session of what's in those. There's other magic there, there's other spells in those books, but they are for levels that Kaya can't cast. You can spend time, though, scribing them into your own spell book on the road. There was something I was looking at. Teleport. Let's see. Okay, up to 8 willing creatures. Cool. So Trox can teleport all of you guys. Alright, Trox is hand in hand with everybody, and she is going to cast teleport, and the party is going to blip out of existence, and she has studied this location, so I don't think she has a fail. Oh, they also have a permanent circle here, so she's not going to have a fail chance on this thing. I'm going to roll a D100 on the very familiar table just to see what she would have rolled, and that is cool. She would not have got you guys thrown through the astral sea multiple times. Okay.
That's good.
I wanted to go and collect more flavor pictures and stuff for what Miss Haven is like, but you guys will have to trust that I'll have it up for you guys next session. So you are going to arrive in the in the city of Misthaven, inside of the Low Lakes. Specifically, she is teleporting you to a portion of the Jari Death Monastery, and it is going to be in the cloister where they have their teleportation sigil inscribed on the ground here. As the group teleports in, the sigil is in the middle of a four-way path, and it is about 10 feet in total in diameter. Everybody on huddling up and letting go, you are going to look across this cloister. You are surrounded by a dark stone building on every side of you. There are mists creeping along the ground, and you can see groups of people sitting together as these mists surround them and almost completely cover them, except for the person standing in the middle. It appears that some sort of vigil is going on. Let's get some more appropriate music. We'll stop with this, and we'll go with this. All right.
Oh, I'm muting my tab. Okay. Go ahead.
Trox, after Trox teleports you, she's going to step aside and say, you know the drill. If things get hairy, find a way to send me a sending, and I'll try my best to spry on you. Good luck.
Thanks, lady.
And Trox is going to start writing out the teleportation sigil for the gatehouse.
Farewell till we meet again.
And she's gonna say, yeah, that. And Trox is, in a minute, she is gone.
Kayath casts Mage Armor on himself.
all of the attendants of the monastery attack you. I'm kidding.
Oh
Good.
no.
Some action.
All right, so you guys are in the middle of the Jari Death Monastery inside of Misthaven.
So Nyoka is going to change his appearance.
Okay.
Going to cast Ask of Many Faces on himself, and he is going to look like Dean Doolin. And then he is going to cast a silent image of a lizard folk right next to him.
Okay.
Azur will use his divine sense.
You're looking for demons and undead?
Celestials, fiends, and undead, yes.
In this courtyard, you are going to pick up on 4 undead. As far as celestials and fiends, I would say you are... your senses don't ping anything. There's a group of undead sitting in one of these mist circles, where the mist is slowly rolling over them as the person is standing. All 4 of the people sitting around the standing person are dead. Or you can presume Terai.
So all 3 of the ones around the person in the middle are?
All 4 of the people. All 4 of them are. The person in the middle is not.
Okay. Well, I will watch them as we move around and see if I can figure out what they are.
Okay. All right. Presumably, the thing to do would be to get out of here. These people are all engaged in some sort of vigil, and this is a public building that you guys teleported into, so doesn't seem that there's anybody rushing to push you guys along or presumably to any place.
Our first order of business is to secure passage to this Zwitchus, the other side of the lake, and our detour destination is near there, correct?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Yes, Ziwatekis.
Ziwatekis. Then Kais will ask the group the same thing. I believe its our mission is to get to Ziwatekis, and so shall we look for a boat or a port or passage in some way?
We should, boss. What's our cover? Are we still? Are we going undercover, or are we?
I'm happy with the standard cover of being a merchant with other people, unless someone else has a preference. I was recently trying to establish a guild called Kayath Delson and Associates for my trading endeavors, my little side business.
Oh.
So happy to use that.
You might want to change your name, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it's also being a merchant is about establishing a reputation, so people know who you are. And,
Excellent.
and
You
I'm
want to
happy
tell the
under my own
truth.
name.
I'm proud of you. Haha, do it.
Yes. So in these 2 cities, I'd like to go under my own name.
As you guys are speaking in this courtyard, a woman is going to stand up from one of these circles, and she's going to look, and the man next door is going to call her back. She ignores him. and she's going to say, "Be quiet, Vezeth." She walks up holding a baby in her arms, and she's going to say, "Excuse me, did I hear you say you're going to Zewatekis?"
That is our plan, yes.
She's going to smile and say, and the Father of Glory listens. He does. Are you aware that Zewatekis is no longer safe? What do you plan to do about the crown?
Crown mustn't know that we'll be there. So please don't tell them.
And she's going to nod and say, they've sent bandits and all of the like raiders and highwaymen. They call it Zewatekis home for now. A lot of people were pushed out.
Do you know a safe road?
Taking Zewatekis.
I heard you, Steve. What did you say, JV?
I was just confirming. So the crown has taken Zewatekis.
She's going to say, "Taken? No. The Asatar has allowed it. It's only temporary. But the lot that came in from the clutch, they're not kind to our homes or the lands or the rivers. That said, we couldn't stay there. They were robbing, stealing from the inhabitants."
Azur is going to give her 2 gold coins.
She's going to accept it and say, "Well, I am thankful for this, but I'd be more thankful if you if you were to deliver the Glory Father's path onto those who are occupying our town right now."
So you're saying your god would like us to slay these men?
She's going to think about it and say, "Well, they aren't warriors, and and other than Kaya, like she'll look at Dean, look at Azure, look at Brahm, and say, all of you look like you came with a mission and a purpose. The path of Shiori is littered with purpose. But also it's paved upon those who seek to misuse others around them.
If others are misusing others in front of me, then justice will likely be delivered. Otherwise, I will not slay these people for you. I do not act on hearsay alone.
At which point, Vezeth, the man who she told to hush, is going to stand up and say, "Look, I told you, Ini, we aren't here. We aren't here to hire mercenaries."
What did they do to you?
She's going to... Well, let's actually roll a percentage die. How bad did things get for them? She's going to say, They didn't do anything to me, but we just had our first child. There are others in the village, or in Ziwatekis, that were taken into their numbers. The lifestyle chasing coin is appealing to some.
So they become gang members?
And she's going to nod.
Well, if I can
How
find
many
such
bandits-
unfortunate people, I will see if I can redeem them.
How many bandits are we talking about? And how big is Ziwatekis? We have not had the fortune of being there before.
Ziwatekis is a small place. Let's see. She's going to say, all in all, there's mayhaps 1,000, maybe 1,000 or so souls living in Ziwatekis. A couple hundred of the Asatar's forces stationed there, and a couple hundred of the other different Asatar's forces inside of Ziwatekis. As far as members of the Crown, on their own, maybe a dozen, but those are not a dozen, maybe 100, but those that have joined them have bolstered their numbers.
We thank you for the information.
The story of your plight will be sung. I will tell it.
She's going to nod, and Vizeth is going to say, "Come, let us keep in hope for the ascendancy trial to come." And she's going to walk away and say, "May the Glory Father smile on you."
Is there anyone in particular you want us to watch for?
She rolls a history check. Thinking on it, she is going to shake her head and say, "No, I didn't stay long enough to get any of their names. There was another large group of them. They went south towards Lothrone in the marshes. They haven't been heard from, though."
Very well then. Very well.
Did you catch which prince they served?
She is going to think for a moment and say, the Grim one? I'm not sure.
Out of character, is that Titusel?
No, not any that you know of. And she'll say, in any case, they were really afraid of her.
Well, may your god see you safe.
She's going to nod as she returns to the circle.
Maybe we should get some more information about whether going by land or sea is the best way. Time is of the essence, so my inclination is towards the water, but perhaps getting more information might be useful. Thoughts?
Go to the dock, see what's there.
Yeah, and let's study this map and see if the waterways even go through where we're going.
I'll get us to the next, to our next destination anyway.
Yeah, across this lake, looks like.
To the docks it is.
All right. Going.
Lead the way, Wilbur.
Leaving the Jari Death Monastery. I need to roll you guys a check. Okay. Leaving the Jari Death Monastery, you guys are going to hear some rumblings about the region. I'm need to take some notes real quick on my card for the future. So I'm going to ask you guys real quick if you can give me your passive perceptions.
9.
Okay. I got 9. I got Wilbur's already.
12.
Let's see. 9 passive perception, 12 for Kaya. Okay.
9 for Nyoka.
And I will look up Bram's. And let's see. Bram is killing it. 15 PP. Okay. And Inaziah.
15.
15. Okay. And Lex.
Perception, I think it's a 12.
Okay. All right. As you guys are walking through this monastery and you are leaving, you are going to well, actually not you, Bram and Inaziah, you are going to hear people you're going to hear people talking. Things are getting a little bit dangerous around the rest of Low Lakes. Between the war with Northhold and Undar, it is pushing closer onto the north parts of Low Lakes, and it's causing a lot of people to flee south. That said, the situation's getting a little bit stressed here, and every so often as you're walking, you're hearing conversation of just like, what territory did the Emperor take now? What territory did the Emperor lose? And the Crown is looking to get involved in this war, also moving people through Low Lakes, and all of that's kind of just building into these whispers of like there's not a lot of trust, I guess, in the current Asatar here, which is very similar to the situation you guys had inside of Coven, which the more tense the region gets, the more, the whispers kind of spring up around those in charge of just like, can they handle this? And that's just going to be a little environment that Inaziah and Brahm are used to. That said, you guys are able to leave Jari Death unimpeded. On the streets of Misthaven, you can head, just asking around, you can head to the towards the Reach, and that is going to be the docks within the lake. That said, it's going to be a little walk before you guys get there, if, Inaziah, you want to share any of that information.
I will share it. I'm also looking at the map, and I'm trying to figure out where the conflict is. Like, is it between the Undar Empire and Low Lakes, or... But the Crown's further south.
Yes. So, Northhold and Undar are in an open war with each other. Northwood.
Oh,
is
okay,
pushing,
up there.
Into
I
Undar's.
was thinking it was in the south. I was like,
Yeah.
what the?
The crown
Oh,
wants to.
That
so
makes sense.
refugees are coming south into the Low Lakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Refugees are coming south. The crown wants to get involved in this war, and that just means a lot of stuff is going up and down through Low Lakes.
And the map that we were given, is the X somewhere off the side from the destination across the lake? Can we just bypass it? Doesn't sound like a good place to go right now.
Oh, so the map that you're given, I will mark where that X is. It is not terribly out of the way. Actually, you can't see it. It's going to be just south of the river that you were told. So if you look at the map, Ziwatakis is here. You guys are heading here. It's going to be about right there on the map. But I don't have that up on here.
Okay. So I'll suggest to everyone that maybe we want to be dropped off to the east of Ziwatakis instead of at Ziwatakis itself.
It's an idea.
Let's see.
Yeah, dodging Ziwatakis is one option. Another one is having a look-see, seeing what's happening, getting a bit more information about the area. Who knows what opportunities might present? I'm happy with either option.
Is there a map legend telling what each of these colors means? Is there a certain type of land here and there? And I see 3 shades of green down here.
Oh, that is the topography of the region. Oh, and I should explain this now that you're on the streets. Looking towards the east, or looking towards the west, you see that orange that's on the map there. In the distance, there is a huge mountain. Even this far away from it, it stretches into the sky. Even this early in the morning, threatening to cast a shadow over Low Lakes. That mountain is the mountain that shielded a large portion of the Kayak Empire that lived in this region, and is the mountain for which Lothrone is named after. That said, moving down from that orange peak, everything slowly gets lower and lower. So the light yellow territory is high plateaus and other ranges leading into that peak. The light green is high areas of the ground that kind of cause water and things to channel down towards the lakes and low marshes of Low Lakes. And then the dark green is that marshy, swampy territory. As you get farther away from that orange circle, you get further and further away from the mountain, and the territory gradually goes down and down and down.
So landing to the west of Ziatakwas is probably better than in the marsh to the east.
Yeah, but I mean, the further you go south, you're going to marsh. Like Lothrone is basically marshlands.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
practice.
There was something else I needed to tell you guys. All right. So walking through the streets of Misthaven. Misthaven is a pretty big town, but it doesn't take much to get from Jarideth to the lake. you guys are going to see a carving. It is a large piece of dark black wood that has been placed in this town. There are two pieces. There are several people. There are several people working on this carving, and on it there is or rather, what the carving of. It's a giant statue, and it's of a man with a spear. And the second huge log that has been placed is being carved into a fish twice the size of the man. All in all, the statue probably looms 15 feet above you guys and is easily, I would say it's the man himself is easily 5 to 7 feet wide, and the fish, the log that is the fish is being made out of, is probably about 10 feet in diameter and just as tall. The fish looks like it's jumping out of water, and the man is spearing it as it leaps over him. As there are about 4 people currently working on this, but it is being erected in the street in front of the Jarida Monastery.
They're making it completely out of wood?
Yeah, it's basically 2 huge tree trunks that have been placed here, and they are they're carving away at it to make this. And I'll roll you a percentage die of how much they're 97. This is basically done. They're just working on the base of this. So you see this whole scene of like this soldier, or rather this person with the spear, this huge leaping monstrous fish, and the fish being speared as it leaps over this man. And they are putting the finishing details on.
As we're walking, I'll ask anyone who's kind of moving in our direction, what is this about? What are these statues?
Let's see. One of the engravers is going to wipe some sweat from his forehead and say, we're calling to the gods to send an ascendancy trial. The trial of the miss involves taming the lake.
The lake is violent?
He'll gesture and say, the kingfish, it's a beast of the days of old, and only emerges and surfaces when, or at seldom points, but whoever is able to tame such a creature becomes our next Assatar.
I see.
When was the last trial?
He's going to say about 24 years ago, but the Assatar who completed it died. Assatar Kalin's been ruling in his place.
Without ever passing this test? That is an outrage.
A lot of people are wondering how she's been maintaining power.
Well, I dare say the people entering from the south might give a hint of that.
You are entitled to a free history check on the name Leanna Kalin. Yeah, you got nothing. Yeah, she's been the Assatar for a while, but nobody really knows why.
Anyway, happy carving. Thanks for the story.
All right, you guys are able to move towards the docks of. You are able to move towards the Mist Reach docks, and I'm thinking I would like to give you guys a proper session sailing across the lake, because this final lake down here is no easy feat to tame. And I don't have it wholly rolled up tonight. Are you guys comfortable if we end here for the night? Even though it's a little bit early?
Well, I was going to actually question the party if we actually want to attempt to cross a lake that may be attacked by a 20-foot fish.
I think it's better to put it off for next time. So
Well, yeah, you
we
guys can
have
have
more
that.
time just in case we get attacked.
Yeah, you guys can have that discussion right now if you want. Because we do have about 23 more minutes of session time. And that would be really helpful for me because I don't want to roll up a naval session where you guys are like, all right, you have session crossing. It's like, yeah, we've actually decided we're not going to go across the lake where they're trying to invoke an eldritch spirit to attack their leader. It's just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll prepare something different. So yeah, we can have that discussion now if you want. Steve.
And I would also suggest if we do decide to cross that we arrange for travel across this session, so next session we can just go right into the traveling across.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to throw this out there. As you were describing it, right, I thought it'd be like, man, if it was I was just a complete asshole, he just turned around and just fire a firebolt at it.
at
those wooden statues. Yeah.
It's like, your gods don't care about you. Oh.
But I was like, yeah, we'd probably have the entire city try and kill it.
So the alternative to the water would be the land route?
Yeah.
And that would be much slower, correct? Or would it be the same speed?
You're asking me? It would be slower than taking the boat. The boat's super fast.
I vote for the super fast route, even if a big fish is going to have a go at us.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence, or the other people might get a jump on us.
Yeah, I prefer to cross as quickly as possible.
Alright, can you help me sharpen my blade real good? But we might need it.
How many of us are here?
What's the
7
time difference through water or land? Is it like a day or is it like a week?
It depends on the vessel. So it's
average.
Yeah, on average, it's slower to take boats. The thing that boats gain you is that they travel for 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's I don't have the math immediately available, but I would say
Yeah, I'm just trying to get like an estimate of like if it's going to be a lot slower to go on the land route or if it's going to be a lot faster.
I would say you would probably be looking at hours on a boat as opposed to a day, or perhaps 2 days on foot. I'd have to go and do the math of how long this travel and journey actually is before I can give you actual estimates.
But it would be
it's
roughly about 3 times longer.
It's 70 miles on foot, and let's make another thing. And give me the draw thing. Google Chrome, why are you like this? Okay. And it's 70 miles on foot, and it's 50 miles. It's 50 miles across the lake. And that's before any calculations of the speed of boat you guys take. So
anyone have objections to going by water?
Not me.
No, that's pretty good.
I mean, it's just a 20-foot fish. Well, no, I mean, like...
Yeah, like...
It's actually not that big a deal.
I mean,
Well,
it's
can I
not
roll
that
like a
big.
Arcana to know what they're really summoning, like compared to just a fish?
Go for it.
I've been at sea for a while. I know something about sea monsters. I think. Let me see. Do I? I do. I have proficiency in nature check.
So the ascendancy trials are going to be a are going to be a Arcana or religion check. Sea monsters I'll allow that as a nature check. So a 27 for Kaya on the ascendancy trial of the Miss Yandar is going to tell you that these trials are not only associated with like one feat of just like, oh, they tamed a giant fish. They are now our leader. All of these ascendancy trials are, I guess, what's the word? Foretold.
Preordained?
Not preordained, but like before they happen, ecological disasters ravage the region. Huge storms. One ascendancy trial, and like Kayeth is going to know this. One ascendancy trial, literally the land starts animating all the dead things around it, and villages and groups of people are attacked by hordes of undead things being, animated. This one specifically, huge geological storms are associated with this as kind of like when the events start happening, like the dead start rising and attacking villages, days and days of endless storms start going on, things like that. People know it's time for an ascendancy trial, and whoever solves it and returns things to normal essentially becomes the leader. So Kaya would have information that the sea could potentially become really dangerous if an ascendancy trial happens during the time you guys are crossing. But Wilbert is going to...
So could the land become very, very dangerous if it happens as well. Just depends on what trial it is.
Wilbert is going to also know that, this sounds very similar to a houndfish, although you are aware that houndfish are saltwater creatures. So you've heard stories of fish that can swallow entire boats, but they wouldn't be here in a lake.
But have I ever heard of sharks that can swim in freshwater rivers before?
Sharks that can swim up freshwater rivers before.
Like bull sharks?
As a dungeon master, I don't know, but I'll just roll a percentage die, and I'm going to say in this region, nobody's heard of a shark that swims, a saltwater shark swimming up river.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, has he heard?
Willow just said yeah. Has Wilbur heard of it? I would say no. As that is a thing that hasn't happened in this region, dictated by the percentage die, I'm going to say for Wilbert, nobody's been like, you see that shark in the water?
Okay.
And I will say you've officially cut me off now. I am on record saying there are no sharks in this lake.
No sharks in Ilderon?
No, not in Ilderon, in this lake. So next session, I will not throw sharks at you guys.
That's what I heard. I heard no sharks in Ilderon.
Mm-hmm.
Good day, boys. Yeah, that's all I got.
So maybe we can go to the docks and secure passage?
Yes.
We're going to end off there for the night. I do want to give you guys a good amount of options for securing passage across the lake.
Okay.
And we'll role play that next session. All right. You guys are in Misthaven. And you major story beat for tonight. You guys met your new advisor. Also, too, Galkin is threatening to go up in a storm if one of the Low Lakes Acetars is replaced, or there's weakness, and the crown is right there waiting to pounce. It can be not advantageous for your guys' goals. Was there anything else major that happened tonight?
Not particularly.
We got
I'm
a
gonna give you-
confident
Oh, go ahead.
leader.
Oh,
I got more water.
That's the new advisor. I'm going to give you guys minor experience for starting a potential trading guild, which is true to this region. Gotta have a guild, gotta have friends. Was there something else, Wesley?
No, I don't know if she's competent, but we got a new one.
Yeah. What's her face is definitely defined by her greed, if you guys didn't pick that up already.
That seems just like that seems pretty average for Silver Central people.
Yeah. I mean, you don't join the Silver Sigil because, you wholly believe in the ideals and everything of the Silver Sigil. You join it because it's the best option
I did.
to get you close. Well, yeah, and Isaiah did. Everybody else joins because it's like, well, you guys can help me get closer to my goals, and I help you. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, and you move, and you just keep going. All right, so two major ticks of experience tonight and one minor tick. I've moved you guys up a scale, so it's going to be 750 experience for tonight.
Yay!
All right.
Level up.
You
And
know what?
Yep.
I don't think I'm gonna award inspiration tonight. I don't feel like there were many major moments that merited it, but also like there wasn't a whole lot of roleplay tonight. And we'll schedule your guys' next session. Your next session is going to be on the 13th of June, and I don't think that's 13th of June. That's good. That will be good. I should be good for that day. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know, but I should be perfectly fine for that day. All right, and let's go to, oh my gosh, where is my end screen? I was so confuzzled and off of my game for tonight, so I'm going to make sure your guys' session on June is spectacular. That is my goal and my promise right now.